Starting your week the right way, come into the FPL Green Room with me, Gianni Battici, and her, Holly Shand.
Coming up in today's show, we're going to react to all of the action from game week 16 with my numbers game and Gianni's eye test report. I spent a lot of time with Gianni across game week 16, so I kind of know how much football he may or may not have seen. Let's just take a quick time out from FPL though to say happy birthday. How old are you today?
Holly, I don't like to advertise it, but I am 37. No, thank you. It's always a fun day. It's even more fun when you've got a 2-year-old who's waking up going, "Daddy's birthday," and she's like, it's like Christmas Day morning, getting to give me a present and stuff. So I've had a lovely start to the day, and yeah, I've got the babysitter coming around later, so Cam and I can go out for dinner.
Oh, well done. Very well executed.
Yeah, done well there. Monday nights, it'll be the best Monday night I've had in ages. I won't be watching the Bournemouth-West Ham game, and I know many will be listening to this after the Bournemouth-West Ham game. But yeah, we've had 9 of the 10 fixtures as we record this, and we are, of course, going to be looking ahead to game week 17. I mean, captaincy is a big topic of conversation this week for us, and of course our transfers. But you and I both made the same transfers in game week 16, didn't we? I sold Bruno Fernandes, though, Holly. No, bonus points for the penalty.
Gutted. And I was going to buy Ahmad, and you talked me into Enzo.
I know.
But at least Enzo did return. So how did you get on then in game week 16? Because I was with you for that haul from Lewis Hall, which was kind of like one of your big differentials compared to my squad and overall, of course.
Yeah, I need to clip that up, actually. I watched us on Sky Sports News on Saturday morning, and in it, we get to my team reveal, and I go, yeah, I didn't want to speak about all the same players you were spoken about because we had a similar team. So I went straight to Lewis Hall and said, I'm kind of expecting a couple of returns from him. And he went and bloody delivered a 15-pointer. I was like, I need to clip that up and post it. He went and got the couple of returns. So yeah, I was happy with the 15-pointer from Hall. But then it was a good game week. I had a green arrow, but it wasn't like one of those game weeks where everything clicked. It could have been. If Solanke goes and gets a massive haul, then maybe that's different. And obviously, I had the Palmer captain fail. But yeah, Solanke with a 5-pointer in a 5-goal win. We have to talk about Solanke today. I mean,
that's really disappointing.
Honestly, and I watched that game. Yeah. How was your game week anyway? Are you still at the dizzy heights of a couple of 100K?
Yeah. So at the moment, I think I'm kind of holding rank. Obviously, with a game to go, I'm on 50 points. The double Arsenal defence helped, and Captain Salah having sat with you in the pub where literally everyone else was on Palmer, I was on Salah. Obviously, he only got the assist. That's how it felt at the time. The early red card, it was like, oh no, I've messed up here. Should have gone Palmer. Ended up that of the 3 premiums in midfield that we're all choosing between, Salah was the right one in the end. So I was absolutely buzzing when I saw that Palmer had blanked. And yeah, at least Enzo, who came in, got some points, but I sold on Burmo to get Enzo, which was a little bit frustrating. And then Kuna obviously delivered with a 9-pointer, but now we're kind of expecting him to be maybe picking up a ban. So
yeah, we're going to have to talk Cunha replacements and 8 Nori replacements. So I'm just making a mental list. Cunha replacements, 8 Nori replacements, captaincy, Solanke and how rubbish he is. That's 4 big talking points already. Holly, I didn't mention my rank, and I should mention it. I don't try and avoid it, but people often comment, go, he doesn't show us his rank. Well, if you watch my daily content, guys, you'll see my rank all the time, but it's not the best. 1.4 million, but I was at 2.4 million not long ago, so I'll take that. I'm at 60 points so far. And yeah, Enzo did get the assist, which was nice. But yeah, both of us also liked Ahmad, and I've been banging that Ahmad drum for weeks now. But I don't own him, and it only counts if you own him. So yeah, we like Ahmad very much. Where do you want to start, Holly? Should we get through the games, and then should we talk those 4 big topics?
Yeah, let's do it.
Nice. Okay. So, guys, if you fancy reaching out to us, you can do. You can send us an email, fplgreenroom.gmail.com. You can also comment on any of our platforms on Spotify or iTunes, but also for those watching on YouTube, drop us a comment if you've got a question. And join our mini league as well. That is all in the description if you fancy checking it out. But yeah, thank you as always for your support. Loads of you have been following and rating on Pod, and also liking and subscribing on YouTube, which is lovely. Holly, we should mention our get together on Saturday before we go into the games because we did have an afternoon at the pub with some very well known FPL faces that many of our listeners will be familiar with, right?
Yeah, I mean, there was a picture that was doing the rounds on socials that was kicking up a storm both on the Twitter feed and in the DMs as well. I don't know if you had any DMs, but I think it was because it was it was mainly a scout gang with a couple of us from Hub. There was a few feathers ruffled, I believe, somewhere along the line, which is fun. But yeah, I feel like we spent a lot of time together at the weekend, so
you were
probably
2 nights around the
overdosed.
house.
I know. I basically used your house as a hotel. I do feel sorry for your poor wife.
She loves having you. She loves hosting. So you're very welcome anytime. But yeah, it was lovely for you to spend a bit of time with Cam as well, because obviously you guys, you hear about Cam and Guy all the time, but you don't actually ever get to spend time in their presence. That was lovely. I loved having you. Yeah, we got the train down at 6:40 a.m. to Skye on the Saturday morning. So it's an early start for us, only to get to the station and the train was cancelled. But then,
and then I saw how much Gianni eats in a day, because it was two meals in McDonald's, followed by a massive lunch at Skye, followed by a massive meal at the Christmas drinks, and you hoovered up anything that I couldn't eat as well.
Yeah, I hoovered up your leftovers twice, didn't I? So yeah, I woke up with a very salty mouth that night because I think I ate so many salty chips. Not used to quite that salt intake. But yeah, it was loads of fun. Games over the weekend. Where do you want to start, Holly?
Shall we do the Newcastle game, 4-0 against Leicester?
So they had monster, wasn't it?
Yeah, Newcastle had 27 shots in that game, 11 on target, 5 big chances, top for XG. Lewis Hall was the big talking point, of course. And what about Isak? When are we going to get Isak back? Because neither of us own him, do we?
No. And if you're a Cunha seller, getting to Isak so tricky. Like, getting to Jackson's hard, but Isak's even harder. Like, what is he, 8.6 or something? So I looked at the Cunha fixtures last night and I thought, he doesn't feel essential at the moment. We've missed the best fixture. It was Leicester at home. Like, no doubt about it. He's just played the best fixture. Ipswich away, I think, is tougher than we perhaps give it credit for, because we see Ipswich and we go, it's another 4-0. It's not. Ipswich at Portman Road are quite good, quite solid. Aston Villa, Man United, Tottenham, then after that. So sure, he's perfectly good to buy in game week 17, but the next 4 aren't amazing. The 4 after that, however, from game week 21, Bournemouth at home, Wolves at home, Southampton away, Fulham at home. That 4 games, we're going to think he's essential in game week 21. And if we're going to buy him in game week 21, maybe we should just be getting on him now. But I don't have an easy route there.
No, neither do I. But I feel like I need him now for that Ipswich game. I am looking to rip up my team to get him in. There was quite a few really solid performances in this Newcastle side. Obviously, Isak had 4 shots, 2 big chances. Jacob Murphy also had 4 shots, 2 big chances. Bruno G, who is a big Newcastle fan, was talking up. He had 2 shots in the box, 1 big chance. And we also saw Lewis Hall top the key passes this game week with 5 as well. So, yeah, there was plenty of takeaways there. Anthony Gordon, maybe one that didn't really shine as much as the others. 3 shots in the box, no big chances though. But he did make 4 key passes. So there's plenty of options there in the Newcastle attack. But Isak is just far and away the best one.
He is. Just don't know how I get there. Like, I look at Cunha. Let's assume Cunha does get banned. And look, if you don't know what happened, Cunha had a bit of a fight with one of the Ipswich coaches. He's seen, there's photographs, there's video of it. His hands in the face of the Ipswich coach. He's ripping off his glasses. He's sort of gouging him in the eye as he goes. We saw Kudus banned for 5 games, similar-ish. I expect Cunha gets a ban. And if he does, and you're going to another forward, sure, Isak's and Jackson, to be fair, are both great, but they're both a lot more expensive than Cunha. I think I might end up going down and saving money and going to Raul Jimenez. And I know Raul Jimenez hasn't been delivering the points, but boy, are the fixtures there. 3 of Fulham's next 4 are good home games. And he isn't a 90-minute man, but he will always start. He might miss one of those 4, and I think it will be Chelsea away, which is the Thursday night game. But if he starts those 3 home games, and I think he will, and he gets 75 minutes in all of them, which I think he will, around that, I think we'll get points, and he's 5.5 million.
But there's Muniz, though, came off the bench and scored, didn't he? And he looked hungry. And we saw a similar situation at the start of the season. Muniz wasn't performing. Jimenez got the nod.
Yeah.
Could we see the same here? Muniz could start at least one of these games over this period. We might as well talk about Fulham with the 2-2 draw. We also had Anthony Robinson, who had 4 key passes in that game. One big chance creation, 2 assists. He's quickly becoming a favourite replacement for Rayan Aït-Nouri, who's suspended. We also saw Wilson with 4 shots in that game, 3 inside the box. But it wasn't a bad performance from Liverpool either. I think Luis Diaz was the top XG underperformer of the week. But we saw Gakpo, 3 shots, all on target, 1 big chance. Jota from the bench in 11 minutes, 2 shots, 1 on target, 1 big chance. Salah had 4 shots, all in the box as well. So, and also Salah with the 1 big chance creation as well. So Liverpool's a bit of a funny one in terms of where we invest beyond Salah, but also
Jota's
Fulham,
back.
there are options.
Jota being back is massive though. Like, came on, got the goal. Everyone will say he's a rotation risk. He started 7 of the first 8 Premier League football matches this season. There was nothing rotation risk about Jota. Yes, he gets early subs, but so does Gakpo, Diaz. That's what happened. Unless your name's Mo Salah and you're a Liverpool attacker, you get early subs. 7 out of 8, playing as the number 9, listed as a mid-price midfielder. Jota the Slotter is back on my menu. They got Leicester at home in 2 weeks.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, he is a very you pick. I'll say that much.
Yeah. I mean, I owned him for those 7 of 8, I think. Like, he's out of position, risky minutes that people don't. No one bought Amad Diallo a few weeks ago, despite me plugging him hard on the FPL show. Even the producer was like, bit of a minutes risk. Even Kelly, presenter in the studio, first question back to me when I did my Amad differential pick was, are you not worried about his minutes? No.
Nah, he's fine. He's a 90-90-90.
Called it a month ago, but I didn't buy him, and I don't want to be there again with Jota going. I called it a month ago, and I didn't follow my gut. So yeah.
I mean, Amad's the only one looking remotely.
He's expensive.
Proud to be wearing a shirt in the United side at the moment, which is frustrating. But obviously, we'll absolutely take the win in the derby. I guess the other big talking point from the Saturday 3 o'clocks was Arsenal drawing 0-0 with Everton, which came as a bit of a surprise. They did have plenty of opportunities in the game, to be fair, Arsenal, and some good underlying numbers from players. Saka had 3 shots, all in the box, 3 key passes. He still looks to be, a good pick, even though he may be disappointed in that game. I mean, I was on double Arsenal defence, so I'm absolutely going to take the clean sheet. And I think that's 3 clean sheets in 5 now for Arsenal. Obviously, I've not picked up all of those because Gabriel's been in and out, but it certainly feels like double Arsenal defence. I mean, a week ago, we was talking about double Arsenal attack. Havertz as a double up with Saka. I mean, even you're not thinking about that now with your boy Havertz, are you?
Nope. No. Double Arsenal defence looks so on. And 3 and 5. That feels about right. You're going to continue to get about 65%-ish of clean sheets. Like, I think that's how Arsenal will perform for the second half of the season. Everton didn't have a sniff. When you look at the XG numbers in that game, they barely had a sniff.
They had Arsenal 2 shots. Solid.
Is that, yeah. But this is what's amazing about Gabriel in particular. Talk about bonus beast. I mean, I know he scored the goal, but remember, he didn't score a goal. You look at that game and go, surely Everton defenders get all the bonus points because you think tackles, interceptions, blocks, that's all what Everton will have to be doing because Arsenal have got the possession. But actually, you also need the passing numbers, and Everton defenders probably didn't clock the pass completion or the amount of passes they need to get good passing BPS. But Gabriel still finds ways of, without scoring goals, getting tackles, interceptions, blocks, and the passing numbers to the point that he's one of the 3 bonus. Pickford got 2. I think Saliba got 1. So yeah, Everton are a bit underwhelming, but we expect that. They can go and park a bus, can't they? And I think when we look at Everton next week, they're at home to Chelsea. I thought that might be where I go with the armband, but I don't think it is anymore with Cole Palmer. What's your? We can I guess touch on this now. What's your take there?
Salah again, I think. He's blanked once on the road this season. The other
Has he?
6 away games, he's got double digits in all of them.
Okay. Yeah, I hear that. And they've got
Palace.
Palace away. Selhurst Park, though.
Oh, no, Palace
No,
was the game that he
Saka.
blanked in, sorry.
I think Saka's got Palace, hasn't he?
Yeah, no, Palace was the away game that Salah blanked in earlier this season.
Yeah. So who's Salah got this weekend? I can't remember. Let's have a look.
Spurs.
Yeah, that's it. Tottenham away. Who, by the way, played Archie Gray at centre back, who's really good, but he's a kid, and I don't think he's a centre back. And then alongside Dragerson, and then they had
Porro got benched, didn't he?
Porro was benched, but came on at 25 minutes, so he still would have got the 60.
Right, okay,
he would have got the clean sheet points, but of course Spurs went and conceded because that's what they do.
I thought they kept a clean sheet.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, I thought it was 5-0, wasn't it?
I thought it was 5-1. Oh, it was 5-0. God,
I think
I'm all
you're
over the
thinking
place.
of, it was Palace that looked dead set for a 3-0 win away at Brighton, and then Mark Gay conceded. Was it another own? Has he got a few own goals now?
Two own goals for the season, I think, Mark Gay.
And is that in 2 game weeks?
Yeah,
that was a surprise result, though. Like, Palace had been woeful at the start of the season, and then you look at their last 5 game weeks. They drew away at Villa, they drew at home to Newcastle, they beat Ipswich away, they drew at home to City, and now they've won 3-1 away at Brighton. Like, that is a pretty impressive performance from them. That, for me, that game was easily a Brighton win. Crystal Palace had 5 big chances in that game, and it feels like suddenly there's loads of options. Like, we saw Ismaila Sarr had 5 shots, all in the box, 3 on target, 2 big chances, got 2 goals, and Nketiah had 3 shots, 2 in the box.
And he came on late.
They were both creating chances as well. And Nketiah in that 30 minutes had 3 key passes, 1 big chance creation. Sarr had 2 key passes, 1 big chance creation. And then the fullbacks as well. The wing backs. I mean, it was Mitchell with the better numbers, 2 key passes, 2 big chance creations.
But Munoz had a goal disallowed, which was marginal, and that wouldn't show in the numbers.
Yeah. There you go. This is why you watch the games and get the knowledge.
I mean, Munoz has scored, and he nearly made it 3-3, Holly, for goals. He was 2-2 before today, I think, in terms of goals. Munoz is smashing it. But yeah, Mitchell's cross was amazing for the first Sarr header. Yeah, I did watch Brighton. On Sunday, I said I'm not going to watch all 3 games. I watched every single minute of all 3 games, and still somehow thought Spurs conceded. I think Southampton had a goal disallowed or something. But yeah, Palace were really impressive. And Brighton, actually, you expect more. It was interesting when they made their triple attacking sub around 65, 70 minutes, I think it was. João Pedro stayed on the pitch. He did eventually come off, but he wasn't part of that big attacking refresh. We saw Minter and we saw Rutter come off, and I think Ayari. But yeah, you expect a bit more. What João Pedro needs is a number 9 in front of him. He's not an outright focal point. And Danny Welbeck not being in this Brighton team, as he hasn't really been for the last few weeks, that affects João Pedro's output, I'm sure of it.
Yeah, I mean, I was wanting to buy João Pedro this week. This is my route to Isak, but I'm just not convinced. He obviously had 2 shots in the box. Mitoma had 4 key passes and 3 shots in the box, which seemed all right. They were the 2 from the underlying numbers that stood out to me. But yeah, losing 3-1 at home to Palace is an issue. It doesn't feel like the entry point to buy, but then the fixtures are really nice.
They are, but they've been nice for the last few weeks, and João Pedro's not been doing it. So I look at the budget forwards, and I don't know, a few weeks ago, there was a lot of buzz around buying a João Pedro, looking at an Evan-Nilsson. Strand Larsen was an option. Like, there was a lot of 5 million-ish forwards we were excited about. Raul Jimenez. I still think Raul Jimenez is a good buy, but I'm not sure I'd be buying the others. And again, Raul Jimenez is a huge risk with those minutes.
It's a tricky price point, isn't it?
Yeah, Vissa's numbers are good, but not amazing now. They may be boiling off a little bit, but...
Yeah. Shall we think about Chelsea-Brentford then? So Chelsea had 26 shots in that game.
Loads of small chances, though.
Yeah. But then you look at the underlying numbers, like Jackson, 7 shots, 6 in the box, 1 big chance. Madueke, 7 shots, 6 in the box, 1 big chance. Palmer only had 4 shots, but he did create 4 chances. Enzo created 3. Sancho created 4. It just feels like there's loads of options. You just want tickets to this Chelsea attack. Did the scoreline do a little bit of an injustice to them? Should they have had more than 2, or is that fair? Having
It's
watched
fair,
the
I
game.
think,
Oh no, it
because
wasn't the TV game, was it?
Well, I didn't watch it. I've only seen the highlights. I had one ear on radio commentary for Chelsea, and then my eyes on the Spurs game, which was on Sky. And when I looked at the total XG, it was something like 2.5 for the entire game. When you hear those shot numbers, 26 shots, you're like, is this a 4 XG game? It wasn't. What Brentford are really good at, they're a team that managed to find a way of getting big chances for themselves, but they're also a team that managed to limit other teams getting big chances, which is why Flecken's been an all right goalkeeper, because he's made a lot of saves from low XG chances. They concede a ton of chances, but a lot of them are low. So, yeah, Brentford were good. Chelsea were the better team. 2-1 feels fair.
Yeah.
Late on, though, you expect the clean sheet, but yeah, Mbeumo on the break, and he takes his finish so well.
Yeah, 2 big chances.
Yeah. But I look at Jackson, he missed a massive chance. Sancho put it on a plate. But then Jackson took his goal so well. And I look at Jackson and think, yes, we all love Isak at the moment, but I don't think there's much between Isak and Jackson, because Jackson plays for the better team. And the fixtures are arguably better for Chelsea than Newcastle over the next 3 or 4. So, yeah. I don't know. I think Jackson's definitely worth consideration. But if you've got Enzo and Palmer, I don't.
Yeah, you don't want to triple up, do you?
I don't think they're good enough to triple on. They are the best attack in the league, but I don't think they're worth a triple up.
Yeah. What about Spurs then?
Yeah, Spurs, man.
So Spurs. I was expecting goals in this game.
Pulling my hair out watching it.
I know, but they're not coming from where you expect, right? Son, 7 shots. Kulu, 3 shots. Maddison, 3 shots. Sarr, 2 shots. Solanke, 1 shot.
Dominic Decoy Solanke. He is a decoy. He is literally a brilliant asset to the team. Spurs fans love him. The press, the hard work, the hold-up play. But he's a decoy. You're literally there for Maddison and Son. Like, Maddison and Son don't even look for him. The way they were taking shots on these really tight angles. The Maddison goal, where he scores it top corner from almost like the touch line, behind the goal line, the dead ball line. And it's like, he could have looked for Solanke. He's not. He's just looking to score himself. They're quite greedy. Son's always been greedy.
Yeah.
Greedy's fine. They're greedy. We love greedy in FPL. Dom Solanke isn't greedy. And he's a real team player. But that doesn't get me FPL points. I'm sick of it. I've been sick of him for a very, very long time. And I tweeted last night some of the hauls that he should have been involved in, but actually wasn't involved in, where the team scored loads of goals, but Solanke didn't. So in game week 5, Spurs score 3. Solanke gets 6 points. Same again in game week 6. In game week 8, Spurs score 4. Solanke gets 0 points. Game week 12, Spurs scores 4. Solanke only a 5-pointer. 15. Game week 15, Spurs scores 3 goals, Solanke 6-pointer. Like, so often. And then again yesterday, 5 goals, 5-pointer. So often they score big, and he's like a little bit of the sprinkling, but not the main man.
Well, he's going this week. He's got to go. It's just where you go, isn't it? That's
Is he going if Cunha's suspended, though? If you've got Cunha and Solanke, like both of us, our bigger fire is going to be Cunha.
Yeah, but I've got 2 free transfers. So I'm thinking I can sell them both, but it's going to be Isak and then someone that's 6 or less, which at the minute is João Pedro. I don't know if I can do it to myself. There's people in the community that have got Jimenez, and every week I'm like, why have you still got Jimenez?
Big Man Backer's got Jimenez. I do a podcast with him twice a week. Like, he loves Jimenez, and I'm like, the numbers are not there. But for the pure fixture play, I think it's worth the gamble.
Yeah, but he needs to be on the pitch.
Holly, you like numbers, and his numbers are dross. Like, he has got his XGI in the last 4 is something like 0.01, 0.02. Like, it's terrible. Really bad. I'm loading.
I'm form over fixtures, Gianni. You know this.
His XGI in the last 3 games has been 0.05.
That's terrible. That's really bad.
And I want to buy him. Yeah. So yeah, it's every week I've had a bigger fire than Dom Solanke.
Yeah.
But he's been a fire, but not the bigger fire. And this week it's going to be the same again with Cunha, I think. But let's see. You know what? That's the Cunha. Maybe a miracle happens and Cunha's around.
So you're looking at going Cunha to Jimenez this week. That's going to be your transfer, is it?
Yeah, because then that gives me 2.6 million in the bank, or whatever I need to go. One of my budget mids up to Jota the week after.
Oh, nice. You see, I'm already struggling with having Trent in my team. Like, I've got quite a hefty defence now because I've got Raya,
Double Arsenal.
Gabriel, and Trent.
Mm.
And then I've got Palmer, Saka, Salah. Doesn't give you a lot.
Yeah, it doesn't. This week's Troll of the Week, by the way, if you haven't noticed, is Solanke. It's Solanke. It can't be the Palmer was rubbish for captaincy, but Solanke is just, you can't get more troll than that yet again. And I went through all those numbers. Holly, let's touch on the Manchester Derby. Ahmad.
Yeah.
Again, like there's an argument to look at teams and go, you could have Morgan Rogers, perfectly good, Enzo Fernandez, good, and Ahmad. You can have all three, and then you can really go big guns for Haaland back in a couple of weeks.
That is a strategy, isn't it? That really is a play. Something we need to think about, because we did talk on Sky about City's fixtures come the end of the month are nice. And hopefully they'll have sorted out their situation by then. Ahmad 4 shots, 2 on target, 3 in the box, 1 big chance. And Bruno Fernandes had another decent game, 3 key passes, 2 shots in the box, 2 big chances. Pens again with him. It's all about the pens, isn't it?
It's all about the pens, and he converts them too. And then when he gets them, he gets bonus points because his underlyings are all so good. So yeah, I prioritised Trent last week, which meant selling Bruno. I don't know. I could have, if I'd stuck with the same team, I keep Bruno, I get Mykolenko at the back for his 7 points, and I keep Bruno, and I have 2 transfers better off. But, sometimes it pays just to do nothing sometimes in FPL. You try and be too clever with your transfers, maybe. But, our Friday decisions, Holly, we've spoken about decisions in terms of where we want to go. You want to go Isak. I might go Raul Jimenez. Let's see about the ban. I guess if it comes, it will come midweek, like it usually would come a few days later. So yeah, I think that's it. And then captaincy, I think again we both like Salah. I'm still tempted on Palmer, but I think we both like Salah. Holly, we like to end the show with parenting moments of the week.
Yeah.
What's yours?
Well, it was a big week in my house last week because both of my kids had their Christmas performances. So Billy, my younger one, she went first, and I wasn't worried about her at all because she's like me. She takes these things in her stride. So I think their Christmas play was called Snowy Chum. So it's a non-traditional nativity, and she was a bunny in it. And I knew it was going to be cute, but I was not prepared for just how cute this play was going to be. And her cousin goes to the same preschool, so they were doing it together. And she's a bit older, so she was like bossing her around, telling her when she needed to be stood up and sat down. And honestly, I saw it twice. It was that good. And then Bobby had her play the next day, so I think I spent like 2.5 days in my kids' school for these performances. She was a bit more nervous about hers, and she had lines this year, which was a new thing. And she was an angel. But no, she's got up there and she smashed it. And you could tell that she was nervous because she was like doing this weird thing with her mouth and kind of like half looking. And you knew when her line was coming because she'd be like looking all around, like making this funny face. And it's like, oh, a line's coming up. Go on.
It's funny because when
amazing.
everyone else is watching, it's probably not picked up by the parents or anything. But when you're watching your child, you pick up on absolutely everything, don't you? Because you're not watching the rest of the performance; you're just watching them.
Yeah, and they're picking their nose and all sorts. Yeah. But no, honestly, it was so sweet. And I don't know what it is, but since having kids, I'm just emotional. It was just like I needed to take my tissues with me. I'm so proud. I did manage to hold it together. I didn't embarrass myself, but no, it was sweet.
I'm an emotional wreck at the best of times, Holly. Like I'm going to be in absolute state when Gaia does anything in public. Very nice, very nice. I've got some Christmas carols on Wednesday night at my local church, which I'm going to try and get to. But it's also my work's Christmas party in London, so I don't know if I'm going to be back in time. I really wanted to take guys to church Christmas carols.
It's cute. It's not Christmas till you've gone into church and sung some hymns.
Yeah, exactly. So I really want to do that this year. But let's see. It might just be Cam and Gaia. Guys, let us know your Christmas traditions with your families or any of that jazz in the comments. But also let us know what you're doing this week. Are you looking at Raul Jimenez, or are you beelining a move in heaven and earth for Isak? And also, are you looking outside the box for captaincy? Like some will go Isak captain. I think that's a much trickier fixture than we realise. I don't trust Newcastle. I've got trust issues there with Newcastle on the road. Last 2 trips to London, or last 2 away games were Selhurst Park. They limped to a 1-1 draw. They were rubbish. They had one shot on target in the entire game. And then they went to Brentford and lost 4-2. I think they might go to Ipswich and struggle a little bit. Let's see. Holly, I will see you in the week, no doubt.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know obviously we've had some Monday uploads the last few weeks, but we do have a firm end to game week 17 with the Sunday final fixture at 4:30 as always, so we will be able to record in our normal slot, I hope. I've not actually checked with Unity Free on Sunday evening, so you will get us back in the green room next Monday morning.
There we go. See you later, guys.